Okay, so if you've been watching my channel, you've been seeing I've been trying different things on this log job, and this is my dray that I've been using, and it has been working quite well. I've figured out a good way to hitch the chains so the logs stay on, and that's not a problem, and it works okay. I'm going to show you a few pictures even of how's that has been working out the last few days. So here's a couple of hitches I took out recently, and it works good, but they're all long pieces behind the dray, so when you're going around a corner it really drags hard sometimes, so that's why we thought we'd try something different. But also because I want to share with everybody some of the different ways to log, plus because I'm thinking it might actually be better for me, I am going back to using, or at least to try it some more, my scoot. This is my scoot right here. It is something I've used quite a bit last year, and I have some shots even of using that from last year that I will show. These pictures were taken last year. It was up on this same lot that I'm working on right now. I have a couple pictures of the Belgians and this picture of the Percherons out on the landing. But I had some problems with it, but I want to experiment a little bit more and see what we can figure out. I'm just thinking that it actually pulls quite a bit easier with logs on there as opposed to dragging behind even this dray. So we're going to experiment, not today. I'm not going to hitch that up today, but in an oncoming video soon we'll be able to do that. So, but today let's just go up and see what we can get done this afternoon. The horses are ready to get to work, so let's get to work. So when I get up into the woods, I will pull the pin out of my dray and just pull that out of my way so that I can use the cart to log with and skid some logs down to this landing. I'm walking up my trail right here, kind of keeping my eye out for deer. We have so many deer that come in here after I cut trees down to eat the tops off the trees, and one of these days I'm going to set my camera up and just watch the deer eating the buds of the trees. It's hard sometimes backing up the cart in the wintertime when you want to swing your horses over. They do not want to walk off the trail into the deep snow, so it's a bit of a fight there. And also when you're backing up and if there's a spot for the tire to slip into a tire track, it's awful hard to get it back up out of that track. A couple of years ago I needed some new tires for my cart, and I bought these tires with 3 ridges on. They're front tires for a tractor, and they work really good to hold the cart in place. They don't seem to slide as much as a regular car tire would. Oh. Yep. 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 Hey, back, back. Back up here. Back up here. Back up here. Back, back. 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 Oh. 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 Okay, what I've done, look guys, is last night I cut this one popple right here, or aspen, and another one right up there. So I will just limb the tops and cut the log off, and we'll snake these right out of here.
I think I ended up with two 16-foot logs and a 10-foot piece of junk firewood. So I decided about this point that I probably would have time to use the scoot, so if I was to just clean up these logs here so I had my place to turn the scoot around with, I would take a small load with the cart just down to the landing and get the scoot and come back. But first I have to get these logs cut up and get these logs out of the way of my turnaround spot. Okay, so here I'm back up here with my scoot. Turn around. This is the turnaround spot I had from last year. So it's just a matter of going through there and getting turned around, no problem at all. It's so nice to have an excavator up here. As you see where that dark spot is right in the trail, and there's a rock off to the left. I was able to pull in there with the excavator and just pick that rock up out of the trail and make for a lot better trail for the horses. Sometimes I tie my horses and sometimes I don't, it just depends, but when I do tie them, and if I just tie one horse, if I'm concerned with the other horse, I will actually reach over the horse's back that is tied and grab the line from the other horse and just wrap it around the hame, and that holds that horse also. I have one chain and binder set up in the center of the scoot that I use, and you'd think that would be enough, but sometimes it's not. So I like to have just a regular ratchet strap, and I'll get that and lay that in front of the front bunk and strap the logs together with that also, just to be safe. So this being the first load of this year with the scoot, I was very cautious not to overload it, and we just tried a small load and to see how it went. So when I'm using the scoot, I will always cut the logs into the right lengths that they'll end up being. But a lot of times the firewood pieces are quite long, and I feel if I put them on the middle or top of the load, they seem to ride better than if I put them on the very bottom. Sometimes they're as long as 22, 24 feet long. If you wrap a line around a hame to hold a horse, you gotta make darn sure you remember to take it off before you try to drive them, or you'll get into trouble. Ouch! I think my camera thought he died, and it was on his way to heaven. Fortunately, the camera didn't break, just another tripod. Okay, we did make it out all right. I did hit a tree on the lower side and took my back stake out, which was not a problem. It's chained on good, so it stayed good. I did figure out a better way to do it for my other loads. I actually went back in and got 2 more loads this afternoon. So considering I just worked a half a day, I felt pretty good about that. 3 loads on the scoot and then a small load that I skidded out with just the cart. when I'm cutting pine, they are mostly all logs, so I scale everything up so I know every day how much I'm producing, which is really nice. When I'm cutting hardwood, I don't generally do that, and even if I did scale up my logs, you don't know how much firewood you put out in a day because you're just making it into a pile, so it's hard to know how much I do produce in a day. I feel the excavator works good loading logs in the woods, but the skid steer works a lot better on this landing here. When I bring logs down on the sled or even on the arch, there's a lot of different things that are here. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different piles of sorts that we have. One's firewood, good firewood, one is basswood junk firewood, one is basswood logs, one is pallet logs, and one are good quality saw logs. So the skid steer has to do a lot of traveling around to the different piles on my landing to sort them all out to put them in the correct piles. So the excavator just wouldn't work so good to be able to move to all those different piles. So this seems to work out really well for me to have the skid steer down on this landing and the excavator up at the other landing. I just recently found another Amish sawmill not too far from me that is buying just pallet logs. He makes pallets right there, so that makes a good market for me for my pallet logs. Maybe sometime I can go down to his mill and do a video of how he saws and makes pallets. They are a different group than the Amish we have right here, and I don't think they mind quite so much if people video them, so I'll have to talk to him and maybe I can do that. Well, I hope you enjoyed the video. Have a great day.
I want to thank you all for watching, and if you like what I'm putting out, remember to hit the subscribe button and hit the like button.